right now, man, we want to close the show with a good friend of ours, a young man I met through DB, who I was already familiar with some of his work as a childhood actor with Mighty Ducks and Heavyweights. Some of the major, if you will, cult following films that he was a part of. And so from a child, this young man has been, in the workforce, and being a child actor carries a whole lot. You can see it when you see those adult actors that stress the hell out. You see them on the big screen. They get these big contracts. They appear to be, very successful, and then you find out that maybe they got mental health issues, maybe something happened behind closed doors, maybe they had overbearing parents. We had Corey Feldman came in recently and talked about the way he grew up as a kid, that he lived basically in a house of horrors with a very abusive mother and a compliant parent, a father that just kind of let these things happen, and he would force him to fight for his emancipation at an early age from his parents. So a good friend of ours, Aaron Schwartz, who also appeared in Gossip Girl.
I heard you're a fan of that show.
Yeah, big fan of that show, Aaron. Come on, man. Blake Lively, all of them. It actually put together a project, and I thought was really interesting. DB, you brought it to my attention because it's based on.
Yeah, it's called Stigma, and it's a documentary put together by my good friend who I've known since, I have pictures of us. Look at Tracy.
Oh, you brought a picture? Oh, my God.
Oh my
pictures
gosh.
of us in, like, kindergarten. Yes. And we've been friends for so long. And,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so the documentary deals with the stigma of, these kids who grow up in Hollywood and then they sometimes fall into these bad habits or certain situations or find themselves around people. We've heard the story from River Phoenix to, Corey Feldman, Corey Haim. He's talked about Corey losing his life. And the two of the guys who were responsible for this project, my good friend Aaron Schwartz and Chris Canote. I'm saying your name right?
Canote.
All right.
Canote.
I'm calling you K-Note from now on.
K-Note.
K-Note.
Chris, Canote?
Canote.
Where you from, Chris?
I'm actually from Missouri.
From Missouri.
Yeah.
What made you guys want to, Aaron, why you wanted to do this, man? I feel like you're pulling the curtain back on the game.
Well,
right?
I'm kind of like doing the exact opposite. Like right now you're talking about Corey Feldman and how like he grew up in this house of horrors. And the first thing I do is I ask you, like, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the phrase child actor?
Mm-hmm.
Fame.
That's it? But is it like a positive view or is it a negative view?
I feel like child actors always got something else going on. Like it depends on how successful you are. That was the first thing that came to mind was fame.
It's true, and it's like there's like I found that there's like a lot of this. When you talk about child actors growing up in the industry, and then it's like, oh, where are they now? It's always these publications going on, and I feel like it's important to like talk about the other side of it. Like maybe there is a stigma attached to child actors that causes or perpetuates the child actor to go into that place of negativity when maybe they should not be in the place of negativity. Like I was raised well. I have a wonderful mother. He knows the whole thing. And there's a lot of kids who are raised in this industry who are just well-adjusted, normal kids. And, sometimes just shit happens. And the other stories of the kids who just kind of go off, it bleeds into the other stories. And then these kids who are normal, well-adjusted, trying to make it in the industry, all of a sudden go into an audition and they see on the resume, oh, you were in the Mighty Ducks, and they're like, oh man, it's a child actor.
You got a stigma attached to you.
There's a stigma, and this documentary is my journey through my own story and me leaving the business and coming back to see if the stigma really does exist. Does it exist? Is it something that's made up? And why are child actors looked at in this way? And it's kind of I wanted to put a little bit of a positive spin on the whole thing.
Does the stigma translate outside of Hollywood? Like when if you tried to get a job that wasn't in entertainment, or do people put a stigma on you when you meet people who didn't know? No,
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think it has a lot to do with Hollywood. It has a lot to do with the image a person needs to, They need to show up a certain image. Like I was talking to Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman's in my documentary. I got Corey Feldman through Chris because he was going to do the documentary.
Corey Feldman asked me to do his documentary that he's doing right now, the big expose. And I kindly turned that down.
Why?
That's the one he talked about here, about exposing a Hollywood big.
He can't get distribution for it. And people I've been talked about was like, why?
It's the same reason, man. It's kind of scary. You think about it. kind of in a way I don't want like a target on me. You know what I mean? That's some deep stuff.
So it's a powerful person in Hollywood that could really ruin careers if he's exposed.
I believe so, and I don't want to be known for that. I don't want to be known as a director to make that.
What about being known as the person that stood up against a powerful person that's allegedly molested a lot of kids and ruined a lot of lives?
Yeah, good karma can come
What
from
about-
it.
I can see that too. But
But maybe Chris, maybe you actually did what like
just be real.
Just being real.
Like I talked to my school yesterday. I grew up going to school. It's for professional kids, and they turned me down. I was gonna go film there, and they were like afraid. And I was like, "You are like kind of doing what I'm trying to show here. You're kind of perpetuating this. If you can, why don't you talk about it? Why don't you bring it up and like show that sometimes it doesn't exist? I think it's important for people to see."
That was the school when you went to Macaulay Culkin and his family. Okay, yeah.
And they were like, "Nah." They saw the trailer and they were like, "Oh."
So you want to rid the idea that all childhood actors are all the same?
Correct.
Bad actors, bad doers outside of in the public eye. Not everybody's doing ODing, and not everybody's
Right.
Being defiant against the law and all this. Right?
Yeah, I want to attempt to rid it, and in this documentary, I kind of want to have the journey of like understanding where it comes from. I'm going to go to casting directors, agents. I'm going to record myself going to therapy and see if there's something that like is from my childhood. Is it based in the business? And I'm kind of going to like do an investigative, documentary on whether this is something that is based in reality or it's not based in reality, and if so, where does it come from, and am I involved in it as well?
Mm-hmm. And then how do you rid or how do you resolve it, or like
expose it
because it ain't gonna go nowhere. Yeah,
it's people are going to keep on not doing documentaries. People are going to keep on shoving things under the carpet. Schools, like my school, is not going to let me go in. People are going to keep on doing this, and it's going to get to the point where it's like,
unfortunately, though, you have to expose the negative to show the positive as well. Mm-hmm.
Did you act?
I did not act.
Okay. What made you want to be involved? Like, what's your role in it?
So we actually met. How did we meet?
You interviewed me one time.
That's right.
On a show.
I do video production, just have my whole life, and we've really just connected over the years and became really good friends. And we said, let's do this, man.
He's good. He's good at what he does. So I got him involved.
So where's this going to live? Stigma, raised in Hollywood.
I'm hoping somewhere. I'm still in the process of making it. I'm getting a lot of pushback because of the same kind of issues. People are kind of afraid to approach it, and a lot of my friends that I worked with are kind of like, well, I don't know if I want to be a part of this, and it's like, I kind of need people to be a part of it.
Yeah.
There will be a documentary. It will be done.
Oh no, I'm making it. It's hitting some resistance, but I'm still pushing through.
So you still want to act?
I'm still acting. I'm a working actor right now. Yeah.
Okay. So would this hurt your opportunities?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
If it does, then fuck it, man. I just want to like, this is a passion project, and I think it's important.
So if people want to, like, do you have any platforms set up? If people want to just follow what you guys are doing and maybe they want to support somehow, how can
they can do, you can follow us, both of us on Instagram, or you could also follow Brand New Pictures Instagram as well. We're putting a lot of stuff out there.
Give out your Instagram.
It's Aaron Schwartz 11, AARON SCHWARTZ
Canote Films. That's Canote_films on Instagram.
And then there's at Brand New Pics.
Hey, Mike Muse, man, I feel like the executives in Hollywood are kind of like the NRA, man. Nobody want to speak out. Is it a tie there?
Tricky, man.
Like they know guns are a problem, but nobody want to say, they say everything else but the gun is killing folks.
Yeah, absolutely. Those type of things are challenging and sensitive. So as the gentleman have just been alluding to the difficulty of
you're proving or right of completing, right? Thank you, Mike Muse.
Heather's got something to say. Yeah.
Heather B.
It's money. Like, nobody don't want to say it, but it's money. It's about money. Like, listen, we could do documentaries on a million different things. You could ask, how come female rappers and female artists don't blow up? They can talk to every single artist, every single rapper. They'll tell you record companies don't like paying for glam. It's more expensive to promote and market a female artist because you have to pay for wardrobe and clothes and hair. She has to look a certain way. But that doesn't stop people from making music. Female artists are still coming out, whether they doing their different, YouTube channels, doing different things. This is about money. Nobody wants to fuck up their check. And it's crazy to me when you talk about something so sensitive as like child molestation and different things that happen to kids mentally, because to your point, Aaron, when I hear child actor, I think of poor Gary Coleman. I think of, old girl Joni and Chachi, all the stories you hear about these kids, and you never, Macaulay Culkin, you don't know what happened to them. It's like they went crazy. Something triggered that shit, homie. Somebody has to say what happened, and then to be afraid because you scared of your check. I mean, people just gonna constantly keep living in fear, and those kids, parents gonna still take their kids on those auditions. I see them all the time, and they want those kids to book those jobs because I feel like some of the parents love the fame just as much. They want the fame more than some of the kids.
Heather, can you come with me into pitch meetings, please? I need you to walk.
I was actually
tell you the hook. We know the hook.
I was actually going to suggest you need to take Heather on the road.
I'm bringing her with me. That's it. I'm stealing her.
She just said in 30 seconds what y'all been trying to say for the past 10 minutes.
You think it's the parents? You think it's
2 years?
What the hell?
Listen, the parent. There's a story going on right now with a coach, a football coach. He just got fired. The kid was suspended for one game, was not supposed to play. He dressed this kid up, put a different uniform on him, and sent him out on the field. Not only did the entire coaching staff get fired, but the team had to suspend their entire season. They were 7-0. And the mom has come forward and saying, don't blame it's the adults.
Yeah.
The adults have to start taking responsibility and stop leaving it in these kids' hands 20 and 30 years later to say, well, something happened to me when I was little. Start talking
100%.
to some of these fucking parents.
But I will also add, it is the industry as well. The industry does add a certain dynamic of image to it. So you have the TMZs and you have all these, tabloids, which we're also following. We're talking to Harvey Levin. We're going to follow a bunch of paparazzi. And I think that also, it bases an image that needs to be out there that kind of perpetuates the issue.
But it's the pressure, though. It's the pressure. Think of something happening on a smaller level with a high school coach, the pressure to win, to keep this kid in the game, even though he was suspended. It's the pressure of Hollywood to make these films and produce. And it's a lot of pressure on people, whether it's the residuals, whatever the case. People lose it. And Sway has been talking about it from day one. Something about fame. People just lose their shit. They lose it.
It's too, when Henry Winkler came here a couple of weeks ago and said fame isn't natural to the human existence.
To the DNA.
To the DNA. Fame wasn't a part of the program. We're not really built for fame or to be famous, and so that's why a lot of folks
kind of lose it.
They lose it. It's just
and
not
the higher
natural.
they get, the more they're like. All of a sudden, you got Michael Jackson buying.
They
like,
lose a sense
gold
of reality.
Tigers and
Elton, it was a sense of right. Well, Elton John came out posthumous after Michael Jackson's death, and said that he felt like Michael was pretty much going out of his mind. He was a walking drug addict. That by the time he left this planet, and that seemed like he was just under a lot of duress, stress, and didn't like where his life was. Maybe it had to do with being famous, have to wear a mask everywhere you go. You got to wear, all these different disguises,
fun, yeah.
and that's
no
why.
Childhood.
That's why I don't like people put fame on me.
And I think people who are emotionally more sensitive, also, there's people who are like actors and performers are emotionally sensitive a little more than just the average person.
Yeah,
and I think that gets to them, and they don't know how to handle it.
Y'all dial into that emotion.
Where Webster at? Sway, Emmanuel Lewis. What they do to him?
Come on, man. Webster was winning though,
Webster ain't working a while.
No, Webster hasn't worked in a
I'll go find him. I'll put him in the doc.
Emmanuel Lewis, shout out to you. You're a citizen.
Wait a morning. Yo, thank you guys for coming by.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Good luck with it, okay? Stigma is the name of the doc. Brand new films. Okay, look for that, and then follow them on social as well. Okay, and then also Sway'sUniverse.com. You can watch all these interviews, and I'm at Real Sway across the board. Lord Series up next. Until tomorrow, we have nothing left to say.